So now what do I do? Well, I guess there's only one thing. There's something I'd like to know. Are you real? Can you feel?
Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube, and I use spirit and my intuition, the tarot, to communicate energies to you guys, most fabulous viewers. If you guys are new to this channel, I am so glad that you guys found me. Here I am, here you are. I hope you guys stay and that this reading resonates with you. If it does not, then go check out some of my other readings on my playlist. There's lots of readings to choose from. Okay, this reading is highly specific. I will be tapping into 3 energy frequencies of the Twin Flame Collective. And as you guys know here, who have been here before, I do not get fixated on labels, okay, or attached to anything like this. So I'm calling it a Twin Flame connection because we have an English language, and this is the type of connection, okay, that's, or the type of label that resembles the type of connection that I'm tapped into here. Okay, I don't care what you call it. Call it whatever you want. High-level soulmates, whatever. All I know is that I do not call a soulmate connection a twin flame. They're very different in their energy frequency. Okay, this is a very specific connection. Okay, and it is going to be looking at where this connection is energetically. We will be taking a look at the spiritual side, the subconscious of this, the subconscious energies pulling through within your person or this connection. Okay, and the energy that's pulled from this connection. So mission, what or the challenge might be, what you need to know. Okay, now I can't guarantee you that we're not tapped into your own energy. And so, as we know, with this type of journey, it's all about self-discovery, self-ascension, bringing one closer to the divine, our divine nature. Okay, so if that's the type of message that comes through, then that's definitely a twin flame reading. Okay, but some of you guys might have been on this journey for quite some time and have found union within self. You might have even found 5D union within your connection. Okay, so what's next? What's going on here? So just connect to your own journey and see how this reading resonates for you. And don't force anything to fit here. And if the pile you selected isn't sounding like your connection, not your energy, not your twin's energy, and it's not resonating as something that could be going on right now or coming up, then go check out another pile or reading, okay? Because sometimes we could be tapped into old energies here because nothing's fixed on a linear timeline, okay? So all twin flame connections are completely unique, different. But I will be reading it sort of as the overall energy in that connection, okay? Because there's some underlying currents that are pretty solid when it comes to twin flame journeys, okay? Like that of a spiritual awakening, coming closer to the divine, aka source, okay, authentic self. If it doesn't have a portion of an awakening or coming closer to the divine or a desire for self ascension, oneness, love, then it's maybe a different type of connection, okay? And all connections are spiritual, but this one is specific and highly, highly, highly in line with what I'm calling twin flame, okay? But I don't want anyone sort of getting fixated on labels. This is why I wanted to put this in the intro. All right, so beautiful people, this will be a pick card or pick a candle. Okay, here are the 3 options to choose from. These are the decks I'll be using for today's reading, and we will see what pulls through. So for option 1, we have this Hawaiian Kiss. Option 2, we have the Coconut Sunset. And option 3, we have the Sinling, whatever that is, Sinlig, Coconut Mint, I think it is. Okay, so yeah, sit with these 3 energies, and when you guys feel like one is calling to you, then select from the timestamp below, and I will see you guys at your pick. Option one. So I lost my voice there for a second. Hawaiian kiss. You got the sweaty candle. It smells sweet. So we're taking a look at this twin flame connection, okay? Don't get hung up on labels. This is the type of soul connection that I'm tapping into here. And we're going to look at the energy of this connection and what you need to know. This could be your twin. This could be your energy. This could be the connection. It could be something you're needing to hear in regards to this connection, okay? We will light this candle, though, for each of these piles. So let's light this candle and let's ask spirits to guide and protect this connection. And let's let our energy sink in together, ask for guidance and healing for you and your twin. Okay, Spirit, thank you so much for this message. Thank you so much to the collective who's tapped into this reading. Please guide and protect this union. And please allow the viewer to take the messages here that are going to help progress healing and forward momentum for the collective and also this union. So let's put this candle over here and let's take a look at what we have. So I have pre-shuffled oracle cards. You guys got quite a bit here, okay? Haven't looked at these, and we'll lay these and then we'll get into the tarot and see whatever we need to drill into, okay? So we have self-preservation disguised as self-sabotage with 78. So we have 15 here, which is devil energy, Capricorn energy. All right, tempering oneself, 52 and 7, restricting distractions, welcoming suffering, living simply, mastering patience, redefining pleasure, recognizing your limits. Type 7, the enthusiast thinking center between pleasure and pain, purification path, ego level with the heart chakra. And we have relationship trap, stress level, 64 and 1, control, intransigence, I don't know if I'm saying that right, surveillance, critical judgment, having a grip, authoritarianism. Type 1, the perfectionist instinctive center between control and letting go. So we have some Cancer and some Virgo Gemini energy pulling through. Also feeling some Aquarius energy. Okay, so 92 and 2, we have rational quality, growth level, autonomy, listening to one's own needs, self-acceptance, self-respect, independence, true dedication, ability to receive. Type 2, the helper emotional center between giving and receiving with the number 2. So 2 is about balance, duality, choices. We have some Pisces and some Libra energy pulling through and the root chakra. Then we have month. So we're getting some sort of time frame here with month. Temporality, ego level 14, Sagittarius and Taurus energy. Month, long duration, far in time, season, later, long term, and afterwards. Type 5, the observer thinking center between interior and exterior with the throat chakra. Okay, we have Venus, 29. Or the number 11. 11, master number, divine inspiration, synchronicity, and the encouragements to keep going. Some Taurus Libra energy. And divine feminine. And then we have Sun, Saturn. Man, I thought that said Sun, Sun. That would have been quite interesting. So divine masculine energy, more Capricorn, Gemini energy, Sun, Saturn, Leo, and Aquarius. All right, and then we have Mars and Uranus, so more divine masculine, Aries and Aquarius energy, and some Scorpio with 41 and 5, so some more Sagittarius and Taurus here as well. Interesting. Okay, and then we have reaction formation, 28 and 1. Defense mechanism, ego level, opposition to self-impulses, lying to yourself, self-compelling, self-censorship, forcing yourself, reactions to self-control. Type 1, the perfectionist instinctive center between control and letting go. Theme coming through here, theme that comes through my piles. All right, so anti-fragile, 13, Scorpio energy, and 4, Aries. Grow stronger after chaos, alchemy or adversity, adaptation as power, soul, muscle, and strength. Okay, and then we have buffer with 23 or the number 5. So I'm getting some Sagittarius energy and Leo and Taurus. Okay, so protective barrier from external forces, ensuring you don't swing too hard in one direction. Time and delay, we got month here. And this is kind of giving me chakra energy. Sacral, third eye. Let's look at yellowy green is blended together. Solar plexus with the heart chakra. And then we have the reddish pink here, which is the root chakra. Interesting. Okay, then we have faded connection. Thanks for coming out. And then we have false twin flame. Oh my goodness. We'll dig into this card. Okay, we'll definitely dig into this card. So let's take a look at what is coming through here before we pull the tarot. I never grab my wand ahead of time, even though I always say that I am. But now I did. Oh, okay, so you can skip ahead. Pile number 1. I have a feeling that there's something in regards to your soul connection here, which is very faded, by the way, for the bulk of you guys. If you know, which we never know for certain, that you're 100% on a twin flame journey, then leave this messaging behind, okay? We never know anything 100%, by the way, okay? But when you're on a twin flame journey, there's nothing anyone can tell you in regards to anything else, okay? But we have false twin flame coming here. I feel like all signs are pointing to similar lessons that we would learn, but that this could definitely mean once the lessons are learned on your end, okay, if I'm reading the energy flow in the right direction, that this being your energy and not your person's, then you reach a certain level of lesson, and then you open the door to your fated person, your actual twin, someone who's going to come around. For some of you guys, it could be the person that you're engaged with after a while, okay? Because like I said in the intro, all connections are different. This person that you could be dealing with could disappear all of a sudden. One thing is for certain, and we'll channel and get right into that energy. That person, after a period of time, is going to come into an awareness. There is 2 sides of this connection that is being healed and that is learning from this bond. Okay. And I feel for everyone here, it's about self-development and the other person also developing, but one person is very, very, very stuck, slow, and is going to learn the lesson either too late when you've already moved on, you, if I'm reading it right, into another connection, or this connection is so slow to grow that at some point in time, this person's going to come around. Okay. But I feel like right now, what's happening in this connection is the way your connection is designed, because I do feel like it's come to a point here where you can't just, well, I mean, you can do whatever you want. Okay. But yeah, if you want to wait around forever, you know, but there's a certain point here in energy where lessons are learned and we break free. And we're like, what was that? What was that about? And so you're sort of broken free when the other person is sort of stuck. Okay, now when I say stuck, it's stuck based on I still haven't learned or healed the things that I was meant to heal and learn. And we'll get into the lessons of the learnings here. And so you could be the person who is sort of stuck here on someone who's just moved on and already learned their lesson. I don't know which you are. Okay, that's up to you. And these karmic things that happen, these fated connections, whatever you want to call them, are very specific. They're very, very, very specific to soul lessons, and they're agreed upon before coming here. And you can't just say, oh, I just choose to do whatever here. It's like, yeah, you could choose with your free will, but this thing doesn't go away. Okay, so grow stronger after chaos. We have Saturn and Sun. So this is a very profound spiritual connection of awakening and healing and understanding oneself here. I feel that for you, this is all about how you engage with connection. There is something here about definitely being triggered by this person. This person could be somebody here who hasn't committed, is right in the I need to control myself to the point of feeling free and independent of any connection, because this is where I feel the most power and in control. And so I have a difficult time committing and bonding and connecting and connection here. And I feel like the bigger message here is the other side, which is how do we engage with somebody like this? Because I feel like there's something about having to learn about love, unconditional love, love of self. Okay, this is through mastering patience, not swinging on pendulums, understanding one's emotions, not playing small, not lying to ourselves, not self-censoring, not trying to react in a way here that tries to do this or tries to do that, or is out of control and just allows oneself to react however we react. There's a big, big, big lesson here in regards to how we're responding, okay, energetically. This could be in physical action, this could be in response in words, or this could just be energetically. But what I feel is happening here is that we're still responding in a way that isn't authentic. And so we can't break free from this thing we still haven't seen. Okay, the freedom to move forward, the freedom to be in line with authenticity, the freedom to sit with one's own power here is still having to be achieved and reached. Okay, because when we choose self and self-love and we actually connect to what is unconditional love, that means we are fully self-mastered. We know how to unconditionally love self. We know what is authentic about self. We know how to speak our truth. We know how to see our own wounds and shadows, our own abandonment wounds, and how we react in situations. And I feel like this control is coming on both sides. And we might see this person as being needing independence and control and whatever they're doing, and externalizing it as that's them, but it's really reflective of what's going on with us. We need the control. There's something you're needing from this person, aka you're wanting the control of this thing to go in a certain way, to show you a certain something. And I feel like your solar plexus, if I'm reading it right, don't let me project onto you. If it's not your message, it's not your message. Your solar plexus is mixed with your heart chakra. Okay, that's the big issue here. My ego, my identity, my attachment to who I think I am. At all costs, I create that attachment, that identity, and that undoing of that identity is like me losing control. And the ego doesn't like this. The ego wants control. And so you have an understanding of who you are or what you need, or an attachment to this identity that is becoming and needs to become undone in order for one to really know what unconditional love is here. Because the reactions in this connection are based on how this person is showing up. So it's temperamental. If you do this, then I do that. If you do that, then I do this. And so I am trying something here. Identity, control. I am trying something here. I'm responding like this because I think that, or I'll do this because I think that. That's all mind. That's all ego. That's all still trying to have control by bending, flexing, contorting ourselves. You know, I'll do this or I'll do that. And then thinking, well, I'm so flexible. I've tried everything. I don't want control. No, that's control disguised as flexibility, as doing all the things. This whole thing isn't about how flexible can you be and lose yourself and bend and contort and whatever. You're not going to negotiate your way out of this. This is solely about, regardless of what's going on out there, soul connection, fated connection, twin flame, no twin flame, doesn't matter who's out there. Doesn't matter. I'm going to only be able to look at myself and become the highest version that I can within myself by undoing what is not me. But I don't need to strive to be this or that. I don't need to find a better way. I don't need to find something here. It's already there. There is no seeking. There is no, there's nothing to try to do. You could keep trying until the cows come home. This is a form of control. I want an outcome. So I'm going to think that I'm outsmarting the universe or that I have something to learn because I need to be a different way. No, you don't need to be a different way at all. Okay, now the energy you're in obviously isn't getting you anything that feels good. So you're like, well, if this energy don't work, then let me be a doer and manipulate my energy so that it does win. It's like, no, that's not how it works. Actually, what's happening here is that you need to let go of that story in which you think you need to be different. That's the thing that needs to get undone. You do not need to be anything other than the truest version that I think you still haven't connected to. You know? What makes pile one truly happy in the heart? And there is not going to be an external person that's going to give this to pile one until pile one finds it within themselves. There's a true shadow integration here. There's a silent control going on here that's actually sabotaging this connection. There's a need for one to be fully content on one's own, solid within one's own energy without the reliance of an external validation. Okay, now this is not saying that pile one needs to be by themselves happy forevermore, that they don't deserve union or partnership. And to want a partnership is bad. And so they need to undo that desire. No, it's saying that pile one, without an external validation, can still feel at peace, can still feel whole, can still feel seen, understood, and loved because they're giving it to themselves. So pile one needs to do this thing and be confident in their own energy, because right now there's a sabotage of self in order to do something, to attain something, which is disguised as, it could be dressed up in any way. I'm the more giving, flexible person. I'm the one who needs less control. I'm the one who's no. There is no I, that's ego. That means we're still in an ego identity. And as I say, these connections are all about undoing the ego identity, undoing the need for control. And that would mean we're still attached to an outcome. We still want some form of outcome because that outcome is going to provide me with something that I feel I'm lacking. And when we feel we lack, that means we're creating separation. Okay, and so this separation is fed to us at birth, that out there, there's something that is going to make you whole. Out there, you got to seek, find, attain, and then you'll feel okay. A relationship, something's going to validate you. And so we create this separation. It's like, no, there is no separation. You're already whole and complete. There is nothing to seek. And this is the thing that needs to be undone. Because right now I feel like you have an ego that's dressed up, masquerading as love, but it's really a form of control. And we're not seeing ourselves as controlling at all, because if I were to ask you, you'd think you're flexible and you're loving and you're doing all the things. Okay, but underneath it, it's not unconditional love, because unconditional love would have no attachment to outcome. Unconditional love would not have a need for control. Unconditional love of self wouldn't be lying to oneself and compromising oneself and contorting oneself and censoring oneself and bending oneself and dressing it up as unconditional love. I'm doing all the things. No, it's not coming from the right angle. And so there's something here about the way we engage with love and romance and the way we engage with a love of self. And there's something here that we're needing to see that's going to impact how we present ourselves in the world, because there's a version of you that's needing to come out to the world that is confidently coming from a place of authenticity and truth and clarity and certainty, and not swinging on emotion, not driven by a subconscious that is totally sold on one's own self, that nothing out there can sway me, and either it's going to be aligned with me or it's not going to be aligned with me. And if it's not aligned with me, I don't need to change myself or do anything at all and believe I'm an identity or an ego to force it or to be different myself, like I'm a piece of clay or putty that can manipulate this thing to change, this other person or the circumstance in which I'm dealing with this person. So I feel like there's a triggering that happens when the twin, the opposite of this person that I've just been channeling, comes in reflecting like they don't desire pile one, and they need control and they want to be independent, free, and they want to be on their own here. And I feel like pile one is working through those intense emotions of feeling rejected, abandoned, not validated, not seen, and then selling them their own selves by how they react and respond to that, because now they're rejected by their own self and the person they're dealing with. And so there's a fire intensity here, of emotional rejection and reaction, and we could hold resentments and be angry and be hot-headed, and then swing on a pendulum and feel intense emotions for this person and say, I'm obviously I have this unconditional love that I'm willing to contort myself into a pretzel here. Well, that's not love. And that's all about the self-ego wanting to attain something, which I just said. Okay. And so this is all about the true inner strength here that can't break, that can't waver, that can't be on a pendulum, depending on whether someone's present or not present, whether they're showing us value or not showing us their own value, or coming in or going out, or committing or not committing. All of that stuff is all egoic. It doesn't impact my essence. I'm becoming stronger here in the truth of who I am, because this energy is starting to radiate out. And the more it radiates out, the more it breaks from all of those identities and limitations that are no longer me, those validations that I seek and need. Okay. And I do feel like your person's probably a little unruly, because I do feel like your person could be doing things that are just trigger this feeling rejected energy, and feeling like that person lacks control, even that they're the ones that are impulsive, or they're the ones that are out of control. Okay. And so it's the mirror that's showing us that we're the one on a pendulum here. And so there's a lot of transformation happening in which we're having to release the old self, and we're doing a them versus me. And so I feel like this connection remains a potential, or the potential in which pile one can experience for themselves in a connection is still out in the ethers. Is it this person? Is it not this person? I think it's out to the divine. Some of you guys, it could certainly be this person. Others of you guys, this person was to trigger this so that your twin flame or your soul person, your fated connection, this one's definitely fated, but your fated person, perfect person, once you've released all this, comes in and it becomes very clear now. I don't need to contort myself for someone here or do all this other stuff. But it definitely was catalyzed by this person. This experience definitely was fated, but is it this person in the end? I think Spirit is saying we don't know. And these are how these connections go, because there's always a question of mystery, or a question of how's it going to go when we're still in the state. And I think Spirit doesn't want to say, because when we're not in unconditional love, when we're still in ego, when we're still in this type of an energy that I've read, that isn't everyone's energy, by the way, can't see beyond oneself, still attached to outcomes, still needing control, they want to know this. And Spirit's saying, nope, you ain't going to know. Okay, now I'm going to intuitively tell you, this isn't coming from Spirit. I have a feeling that it is this person. But if we knew it was this person, all of this intensity and all of this stuff would just be less watered down. This is the driver here. It's like, what's going to happen? Why all this? There's an intensity here. The intensity is so that you can wake up to this, get closer to oneness, find your true union here, you know, because I think this is what's driving this change. It's like, I want to be loved. I want to have the thing. It's like, we all want this, you know, but the angle in which it's coming from is driving this need for change, this desire and this drive to integrate this shadow and to see the unhealthy parts of ourselves and heal this abandonment wound, this need for control. Otherwise, we wouldn't be moved by anything. We would just be sitting here doing nothing, repeating the same thing over and over and over again. Okay, so I feel like there is, with the Saturn in this month, like it seems like there's a long extended period of time. So this could mean we've gone in no contact for long. There could be a break for a very long period of time. I mean, you might want to track exactly a month, but I don't really feel there's like specific timelines, like, or linear time when we're talking about an experience like this, but it's really indicating like the gap between when we get someplace where someone comes in, whether it's this person who's catalyzed this that you came here about, or the true twin, or the fated connection, or the one we are aligned. There's a pause. There's going to be a pause. And this pause is saying, figure this out, work through this. And so if working with that person wasn't getting us to see this about ourselves, then Spirit says, okay, now I remove that person, or we come in no contact or separation, or that person goes and does something else, because maybe the pause will get you to see, maybe the separation will get you to see, maybe the break will get you to see, and maybe another connection will get you to see, maybe another experience will get you to see. But whatever this pause is between these two, I do feel is a pause before pile one comes into harmony, because right now they're swinging on pendulum. Emotions are triggered easily, and the projections are still real, and the ego is still rampant here when it comes to a sense of identity in solar plexus, and it's masquerading as unconditional love and flexibility and something that I'm doing selflessly here, you know. This not. So and you know what's going on with your person, because if you're here for your person, and I feel someone like this wants to know, well, what about my person? No, well, this is where it's at. It's here. This needs to get looked at. Your person is a big fat mirror. Your person is out, I don't know, having sushi, not worrying about anything right now. Okay, yes, there's a mirror. Yes, they have their own thing, but I feel like, no, this is all about this person right now, needing to resolve this before this person is in the hot seat. I don't feel this person has reached their hot seat yet, because with these soul connections, they're so intertwined. They're so intertwined. And so if this is stagnant here, if someone's still sitting in this dualistic mindset, then their twin, there's nothing. They're just, I don't know, you know, raking leaves, having sushi, eating with their families. I don't know. They're doing something here, but it has nothing to do with anything here. And it could be highly triggering even more. It's like, oh, how could they not care? How could they not see? How could it not? No, it's not, because the ball is with this person. Okay, there's something very superficial about how we engage with love and how we see love and how transactional it might be. And like I say, like our self-worth is dependent on this person's reactions, you know. And it may come to the point where then this is all sort of understood. And then it's like, well, I don't want this person then that rejected me, you know. And it's like, okay, well, what is this heart space telling us then? Now, what's the ego? What's the heart space? I feel like there's a need to really, really understand what that means. Okay. And what's going to drive us forward? Because I think even with this pile, I think the choice will be yours once you come to this state. But it's like, have we really understood what it means to have unconditional love here? You know, like this is really what the lesson is about. What does that look like without selling oneself? So let's see, spirits, what am I missing for pile one? Clear and concise message for the soul connection, this twin flame energy. So 9 swords, anxiety, it's what we're projecting. Look at these eyes. It's like I'm seeing what I want to see, and I don't like what I want to see, and I keep seeing the same thing. I keep experiencing the same thing. 9 swords, can't eat, can't sleep. And like I said, the intensity is there, driving change. What we're seeing is driving the change, because I keep seeing this person acting in a way that's making me feel making me feel a certain way. It's like, no, you make you feel a certain way. This person is just being themselves. Okay, the Magician. So you're the master manifester of your own future. So if you're in a state of anxious thoughts, we create more things to be anxious about. Virgo, Gemini energy, 6 swords. So it needs to move away from anxious manifestation, manifesting from fear. What if? Outcome based. Okay, because the 9 swords is all about, I have anxiety about what might happen, what can happen. So I'm anticipating something in the future. That keeps me anxious. And so I manifest from fear, fear-based love. Okay, or I experience things in the past that are making me see something in a certain way based on past experience. And so I'm anxious about loss. And so this is what we need to move away from, this mindset, so that we know what we're manifesting energetically. 10 of Pentacles in reverse, because the 10 Pentacles is the opportunity, potential of ultimate happiness between two that hasn't been realized. That's sort of sitting here, and I'm still getting this month because I feel like there's something about it definitely not being able to manifest in a way here that is going to bring true unconditional love and happiness if we're still in transactional based, if we still can't see beyond our own 9 swords. We must be out of the woods in order to manifest the 10. Did I say 10 cups? 10 pentacles. Okay, because the manifest is 3D. I'm getting both 10 cups, 10 pentacle from this because of the rainbow here. And Spirit's really saying, like, okay, the message is clear. There's emotions, and then there's 3D manifestation. Okay? And so if you're still here, pile 1, then you know exactly what I'm about to say here. This pile is so focused on what they see manifesting on the 3D. Commitment, family, stability, the thing that we're building in the 3D, that they've completely lost sight of what the truth is here, because the fear is so great. I must see and build this commitment, this solid thing in the 3D union. No, that's not the only way you're going to get 10 cups. Okay, 10 pentacle isn't the only way you're going to get a 10 cup. Now, does this mean you don't deserve a 10 pentacle? No, not at all. You can create a 10 pentacle, but right now that's why you're blocking your 10 pentacle, because your 10 pentacle is so, your ego attachment to outcome is mixing the 10 cup and the 10 pentacle as one and the same. It's not. Okay, it's not. And so this is the mindset that's driven from an understanding that I have, which is a projection of the past or an anticipation of some sort of fear-based drive. I feel like it's with the control here. Okay, this is one specific ego that gets attached to outcome. And when we don't get it, we have anger, we have fear, we have disappointment, all of this stuff. Okay, and so we're trying to prevent loss, anger, and all of this stuff. So we want to control outcome, but we can't control. There is nothing to control. This is all about vibrating one's energy so one can manifest differently, so one can experience happiness. And then the manifestation in the 3D world happens. But one must find their happiness first. This is what we're moving away from. My throat's getting very tickly. So what's with this 9 swords? What's with this 9 swords? So we have Virgo, Gemini energy. 8 of Cups. Walk away from what doesn't emotionally fulfill me. And so I feel like there's like I said, it's selling oneself, contorting oneself. And then also an energy, which is also from ego, by the way, because I feel this pendulum. I will block and I will say I'm right, and I will walk away if this connection isn't giving me 10 pentacle. And there's nothing wrong with walking away, but the way we're seeing it is the issue. Is like, are we walking away from this thing because we're projecting an understanding of a 10 pentacle and a 10 cup that's one and the same, and it's not coming, therefore I say I block this person, or I say it's not for me, and now I resist it, and now I create it, and then I sit there, can't eat, can't sleep, because I'm the one that pushed it away or walked away and said, I'm upholding boundaries. I know my self-worth. I'm like, but that's not. We have to connect to self-love And self-love doesn't look like this. This looks like I didn't get what I wanted. I had an ego that was attached to control, and therefore this is why I put a boundary. This is why I walked away. This is why I said this person was this, that, and the other. This person wasn't coming correctly. This person wasn't committing. This person was unworkable. It's like, what are you seeing exactly? You're seeing what's going on inside of your own world. And so I feel there's a discomfort here when it comes to what you're getting from this person, because sitting alone with one's energy and overcoming this thing and finding self-love here would transform this connection differently. And so I think we really need to look at where are we pegging our emotional happiness to? And what are we physically doing about it? What are we walking away from? What are we resisting? What are we pushing away? What are we putting boundaries to and saying this is empowerment or this is the truth when it's really a projection? It's really a fear. It's really an attachment to outcome. It's really not getting what I wanted. And now I act in all sorts of ways. And then I sit there, can't eat, can't sleep, or totally pulled still, or attached still, or, and you could be definitely apart from this person, still wondering, why does this feel so intense? Because you walked away from something that we never learned the thing that we were needing to learn yet. Okay, Two of Wands in reverse. So there's always a choice in front of us of how we manifest. And if we want to move out of the comfort zone, if we want to move and choose the wand of love, sometimes we have to go through discomfort. Sometimes we have to be completely honest about our own sort of anxieties and attachments. Otherwise, we're just choosing the fear. I feel like this is choosing the fear wand, and then we stay put here and we keep manifesting more anxiety, more disappointments, not emotionally satisfied, lack of commitment still. We haven't built anything here, and we manifest more of this anxiety. We still haven't chose the wand of love. We're still either seeing the same story. This person did this. This person hasn't changed. The situation won't change. This person, it's like, no, and it's not going to, because the ball is in your court. Spirit is saying, you're the magician here. This thing is stuck here forevermore. It's not going to change because we're not choosing the option that actually is in front of you to change something different, to manifest different. How can we do this? We have to go back and meet ourselves where we're at. Right now, there's mind story. A mind story. Okay, it's in the solar plexus. It's an identity. It's an understanding. It's still controlling the narrative here, however we do it, because we're attached to outcome. And we still are seeing it the exact same way, that there's a something that this person must do or has to do that then is going to, and then I'll be happy, and then it's going to, and then, no, not and then. Right here, right now, don't see that. That is untrue. That's a mind story. We're undoing this. Okay? If you resonate with this reading and you're emotionally not satisfied right now, this is the only way through. There's one way through. One way. And it's not through other. It's through self. It's through connecting to the truth of who we are, which is the heart space. Love, truth. Okay, and so the divine truth here is that there's something within you still haven't connected to. And we have to undo the attachment, the need for this thing to go how you think it should go, or what's going to show to you something. It's not going to be like this. This isn't how you're going to get there. Does this mean you're never going to get there? There's never going to be the outcome there? I think there will be. But how we get there, it's the journey here. I feel like you keep manifesting disappointments. I feel like you keep projecting onto the situation the same thing, that this person isn't learning, this person's not going to change, this person has done the same thing, this person's not committing, it's never going to build. In Spirit saying, move on from this. You're blocking this decision that you can make different choices. It's up to you, but you keep handing it off to your world. And this should make you feel relieved. You mean it's not up to them? You mean it's not up to anybody else? No, it's up to you. You're the one who's blocking this by choosing the fear story. Choosing the fear story. There's another story here that's actually more in line with truth. Divine truth, authenticity. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. But we gotta come from a different angle here, okay? Page of Cups, opening the heart space, Two of Swords in reverse. So right now, Spirit is saying, we could definitely still be lost in the abandonment wound. Okay, I'm getting heavy inner child here from this Page of Cups. The abandonment wound is creating this intense understanding that I have that creates the anxiety or the anxious attachment here to how this is supposed to play out and what it's supposed to do for me. This is all about unconditional love, opening the heart space. Okay. So if you resonate with this, I feel like a lot of you guys are blocking this connection, not on purpose, but energetically with this abandonment wound and this inability to be all encompassing with your heart, which means I have a boundary, I have an expectation, and there's nothing wrong with an expectation, but the way this expectation is coming from, the story in which this expectation or this boundary or this understanding, that is the block itself. So is this person want you to forgive them? Does this person, what are they doing exactly? What are we doing? What is our energy exactly? I think that's really where you're going to investigate and see the answer is where your energy is at. What's actually healed of this abandonment wound? I feel like wherever it's stuck, we're actually going to see an opening, and we can't see the opening, and we feel very stuck, and we feel like it's not moving, and you would be right. And so the answer is in the inner child. The answer is in opening the heart space. The answer is in forgiveness. The answer is in looking at my own emotions, looking at my own self, undoing the 10 pentacle from the 10 cup. So once I sit with myself and I sit with my inner child and I'm okay with my own energy of love and how I see love and all this, then the 10 pentacle gets formed. Then I manifest differently, but I got to move from this energy. This energy is anxiety driven. It's wound driven, abandonment driven, attached to ego, attached to control, attached to outcome, telling oneself one story, and then all sorts of anticipation and reactions when it doesn't happen. And then it's this person that's doing it, They're the ones who need healing. They're the ones that aren't balanced. I'm sort of balanced because I'm willing to heal and I'm flexible and I'm all of these things. No, actually, you still have a wound. Okay, hangman. So need to change how we see this whole thing. This whole thing needs to get flipped upside down. Hangman, 180, a 180. How I see it, let me see it completely different. Now I'm going to see it from this person's point of view. Let's just assume, for devil's advocate's sake, that this person is completely accurate and I'm the one that's completely in the wrong. Let's just say, how would that look? Would it look different? If everything that I was telling myself is actually not true, not reality, just a figment of my own projection, how would the story change? How would things be different? What would I do differently? Because I feel like you're wanting a 10 pentacle at all expense here. And you're still in the cloud about it. And you're in the cloud because you need to change how you're seeing this thing. Different perspective. This is what's weighing this connection down. This is what's holding this stagnant. Okay, so I think I'm done with this reading for you guys. Beautiful angel, you're not doing anything wrong here. I think if nobody tells you this, you just sort of keep doing the same thing, expecting different results. That at one time, this person's going to, become correctly or do something or apologize or see the light. No, you're being asked to see the light because the ball's with you to make the change, to get closer to your heart space, to heal this inner child thing. And then, like I said, it's intertwined. And then something within this person is going to be seen at a later date. Like I said, because I feel like this person is energy is tied, but if nothing gets done over here, then they're just eating sushi over here with their family. So I want to see this false twin flamey thing because I did give you guys an explanation already, and I feel is very true. Spirit is saying, unless you heal this thing, I'm not going to give you the answers of the universe. Is this my person? What is the outcome? Because there's control here to an outcome to this person. To a 10 pentacle with this person. Has to be this person, and I need to know, otherwise we'll just move on, otherwise we'll just do this, otherwise it's like, no, because it's still control. Like you think that you're going to be able to call the shots. The universe is saying, nope, hot sweats until we heal this wound, hot sweats over this person who's all unruly, hot sweats until we know. Nope, you're not going to know. Okay, 5 swords, conflict, we're not going to know. This person's going to make us hot sweats. Look at all these flames. They make me angry, there's conflict, how do I resolve this? I'm conflicted. I got to battle my inner demons. Yes, inner demons, inner child. Everything's sort of true and everything's sort of false. It's all fucked up here, So is this your person? Who the fuck knows? I say it is, because there's no way you'd be in a clusterfuck like this, driven to see this awakening of self and this whole intensity and being hung up on someone like this. But again, every journey is completely different. And so it could be possible for some of you guys that you said at this point, then there is the karmic break off where this person can go do whatever they want. But the fated connection here was to trigger this awakening. Okay, but I do feel like their journey is going to be realized at a different point by your work. This person will come into an understanding of, I totally fumbled, because there is something about them triggering you from being unruly, but it's their life to be unruly. They don't need to follow any cookie cutter standard. If they have abandonment wounds, that's their abandonment wounds. It has nothing to do with anyone else. And so their energy could be in a different pile. Pile number 1, this is your reading. I hope this helped you, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. Let's get into your reading. We're going to light a candle here, though, and we will ask Spirit to guide this connection and protect this union between pile 2 and their person. So we'll light this candle and we'll let our energy connect, and I'll ask Spirit to please protect pile 2 and their union and this connection. Thank you, Spirit. And I'd also like to thank you, pile number 2, for joining me today for this reading and connecting with my energy. So I have pre-shuffled oracle cards, and we're looking at this type of soul connection, which I am calling a twin flame connection. Okay, but all connections are completely unique, special, different, okay? But there's something about the type of connection that I'm doing today that is very much tied to spiritual growth. Okay, and so I don't know what we're going to see here. It could be highly spiritual, it could be subconscious, it could be where it's at, it could be what you need to know, it could be your person's energy, your energy, I don't know, okay? So let's just take a look here. If it doesn't resonate, don't take the message, all right? So we have control, 16 and 7. So some of you guys might have been drawn to pile 1 as well because there was control there, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything aside from just ego and attachments to control here, okay? So we have strong tower pulling through and chariot. So we have Cancer energy. And then we have helplessness, 80 and 8. Dark night of the soul, stress level with this shadow with the black here. Okay, feeling of loneliness, loss of control, vulnerability, dark thoughts, return to reality, physical exhaustion. Type 8, the challenger, instinctive center between strength and weakness. All right, and then we have 42 and 6. So you have lovers and devil energy here. Capricorn, Gemini, Leo, Aquarius, and Cancer, like I said. So neutral event, ego level, re-encounters, to meet again, reconciliation, reunion, return, gathering, end of separation. Type 6, the loyalist, thinking center between mistrust and trust. All right, and then we have explanation, 32 and 5, Sagittarius and Taurus energy, relationship skill, ego level, explanation, understanding, clarification, learning, advisor, reasoning, and information. Type 5, the observer, thinking center between interior and exterior with the authentic self-expression. Okay, throat chakra, we have Sun and Chiron, another 7, so 77 is a master number. Trust the fall, an adventure that arises from deep wisdom, trust of life, trust of self. So the Sun came out for pile 1 as well, but the Sun for me is talking about consciousness, okay, integration of shadow, and this is the wounded healer. So lots of healing here as a result of this connection and this tower energy, which is the release of something here with the shadow. Okay, then we have luxury. Oops, we have lots of carnage going on over here. So it says luxury, libertarianism, depravity, excess, seduction, without respect, exploiting others. Type 8, the challenger, instinctive center between strength and weakness. Oops. I can't maintain these orgies. They're all out of control. All right. So Leo and Aquarius again. 88, a higher calling that is grounded in self-awareness and reverence for life. 7788, you guys might be seeing as an angel number 8877. So I'm getting a heavy ego shadow from this pile. Losing time, 160. Another 7 here. Okay, so feels time is running out. Internal pressure or outside pressure from pressure causing anxiety. So 9 swords energy. And we have talkaholic, 248. That's number 14. So Sagittarius energy, blah, blah, blah. Talks endlessly, usually about themselves. One man show, hardly asks you any questions. Nervous chatter. Shadow work, which you're really feeling from the darkness here and this dark night of the soul, the shadow and the Chiron and this tower and all this ego. Okay, and then misunderstanding. Wow. Okay. For this group, I think I'm going to pull a couple of tarot before I start to channel. No, my back is itchy. Scratch my back. Okay, I'm going to put some cards down here and then we'll channel. But I do feel like some of you guys might have came here from pile 1. I do feel a lot of overlap here. So let's see. For pile 2, Spirit. What is this message in regards to their twin flame journey? What do they need to know? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Star, Aquarius energy, healing, destiny. Look at the angel. So we have divine guidance, divine timing. I just heard as well. So that would be this. All these clocks here. Queen of Swords in reverse. More Aquarius energy. Gemini, Libra. And 6 of Wands. Okie dokie. Very clear message in this pile. The world, yes. And then the devil in reverse, Capricorn energy. This pile is so clear, so clear. All right, give me a minute, though, to sit with this energy before I make any assumption, and then you can skip ahead. Pile number 2. I feel like 1 and 2 are pretty much two of the exact same energies here. Go listen to 1. This is going to be really short. Well, I always say that, and then it's not. I'm going to add why we had 3 piles in, because I feel like pile 1 is coming over here. And if you clicked here first, then pile 1 is for sure your pile. No doubt in my mind, because it's the exact same energy here, okay? And I think Spirit really wanted to hammer home here the messaging for that group, especially if you went to 1 and you're still moving on with the other pile, then this message is for sure for you. It's so clear. Okay? Spirit is saying, I'm going to ruin pile number 1, by the way, for you if you haven't gone there. Okay? So just so you know, it's going to be ruined here. We had a card there that said false twin flame. We have re-encounters here and explanation. Something about a reconciliation here. Spirit is giving you this because if you're on your hot sweats, like I mentioned, there's hot sweats happening here with this dark night of the soul. It has to be like this for design. Or, oopsie, let me see. Boobies. So, only boobies I like to see are my own, by the way. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but don't like that on my channel. So, devil. If we weren't called, okay, like severely, like had a distorted energy, there's no way that we'd make change. We'd just be in ignorance, okay? So whatever feels all fucked up here for you, good, good. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. I'm so grateful. Like, be very grateful for this experience, because what this is doing, this pull, this discomfort, this 9 swords, this obsession, and this energy is waking you up, okay? It's breaking you free from the devil. What is the devil? The devil is the worldly energy that 97% of everyone's in, this unconscious energy. You're putting an end to a major cycle here in how you navigate love, how you navigate in the world, okay? And I'm getting from all of these animals, ego. This is lower state of consciousness, animal instinct. There are so many people acting in animal instinct, The animal instinct is the rawest form of ego. It's dog eat dog. I must protect myself. And there's nothing higher in the higher state of consciousness where I could self-reflect. Because the third density is that in which we can reflect. Animals can't go and reflect on what they did yesterday and where they're going to save their money for the future and No, only humans have this third density. Okay. I'm not talking about dimensions. I'm not talking about 3D, 5D. No, I'm talking about densities. Density. Okay. So like organisms and earth, water, wind, like all of that would be like the first state of like first density. Okay. And then the second density is like plant life. Okay. And so that'd be like second density, and then and animal life, second density, and then third density is like human. Okay, like humans who have this consciousness. And so what's this consciousness for? Why are humans have what we have? Why aren't we just like animals roaming around, Because the consciousness is here for a reason. It's calling us to do something. What's it calling us to do? To ascend, to become closer to God. We're more closer to God here, okay? And so what happens when we get to fourth density? Well, we're all acting then from the heart space. We could become light beings. Okay, so there's an evolution here of consciousness. There's an evolution of human species. We're no longer cavemen grunting around, acting like cavemen, slaying woolly mammoths. You're going from this energy. Now, you're not an animal, but you're certainly acting like an animal, not just you, but everyone here in this world, chasing worldly desires, reacting out of the subconscious, stepping over everyone and everything, transactional love. What can you do for me? I got to go out there and seek. I got to protect myself. Boundaries. All of the stuff that we do here that's perpetuating dualistic them versus me, separation consciousness. This is coming to an end. So this is how I know you're on a twin flame journey, because this is all about oneness, self-love, higher state of consciousness, waking up, healing deep, deep, deep wounds from many lifetimes. Who knows how many lifetimes you've been here? Okay, because we're at a pivotal point here in time. And now time certainly isn't linear, but at an evolutional point in time in which human is evolving to a fourth dimension. Okay, like our fourth density, which is the heart-based consciousness. Okay, and transcend past third and fourth dimension in order for us to really connect to the 5D, which is what spirit, the higher self, and really work on that connection with the 5D space. Okay, because when we're in 5D space, which is all about these connections, by the way, these spiritual connections, then this is the only way we can shape here on Earth. Okay, so this is a little bit more woo-woo than Pile 1, because I do feel like Pile 1 is on a twin flame journey. Okay, and their journey is going to unfold how it does. And for all of you guys, it's going to be specifically to you. Whoever's tapped in here, there is a reconciliation here happening after a period of time, like we said, with that 1 month or whatever. That separation wasn't exactly a month, but it's a pause in between, a separation, a break. Okay, there's a lot of anxiety here that's driving this like need for change. And it's like the spirit saying, I'm doing this for a reason. This whole experience is for a reason. Can you see beyond yourself? We're seeking this person to what they can do for me. Can they understand me? What can they give me? I want my 10 pentacle. Talk, 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 talk. See me, see me, see me. Ego driven. What I want, what I need. Okay, this is nothing to do with like love and twin flame. This is everything to do with lower state of consciousness. You're waking up to a great truth here. You're going to go through a dark night of the soul where the ego dies. However slow it happens, it could be very slow and very painful, where we feel completely abandoned. And the only way to heal this egoic thing, okay, and there's nothing wrong with an ego, it serves to protect us, for sure, but it's creating duality, it's creating separation consciousness. And so the only way to heal this thing is to go through a very painful process. Okay, and the ego is going to cling like it's dying, and it is dying because we have to meet death when we go through this process. Essentially, we're meeting death and we come out the other side, peaceful, healed, seeing a higher state of consciousness, being okay and one with 5D energy, feeling one with the creator, being okay with whatever unfolds because we know that we are not our body, that we are one with source, and that anything can happen with the body here, and that it doesn't mean that we're gone forever. And so there is no such thing as separation. And right now, I feel like you feel separate from your person. You believe in separation so much. You feel lonely. You want the control. You want this person to come around. And Spirit is saying this is something that will come around here. But there's a need to really focus on self shadow work, healing this ego, healing this 2D dimension. Okay, I keep saying dimension, density. It's really dense here. I don't know how else to say it. Okay, and it's making me a little bit irritated, only because there's a higher state of vibration here that's going to pierce through this, and we have to want it like we want our next breath. We have to see beyond ourselves, and this suffering is great, and it has to get to a point where the suffering is so great, and suffering is a choice. It doesn't mean you gotta suffer, you gotta sit there and suffer. It's like, no, the pain gets so intense, and then it's a choice whether we want to suffer or we want to break free. And so the only way you'll know if you're on this journey, and I don't give a rat's behind, I'll sit toe to toe with whoever wants to come here, whoever wants to talk to me in regards to what this actually is about. This is actually about when the pain becomes suffering, and I can choose to maintain the same energy on and on and on and on, then probably not your twin flame. You're just in some sort of la-la space. This isn't your reading. This is the pain, the suffering is so intense. It's triggering me. It's catalyzing me to do the self-work, the wake up, to heal past lives, this model of separation consciousness. And there is no other choice but to do the shadow work here. And I don't know how or what, because I'm totally flipped upside down with this tower energy. I don't know what's happening to me. And the intensity of whatever's going on with this person is there for a reason. But the intensity of what I need to do with myself becomes greater than that of the control of the outcome. And so the difference between 1 and 2 is we're at a point here where, yes, I want this person and it's driving all this stuff and it's totally confusing. It's adding to the soup. But bigger than that is my own energy of suffering, because I feel so dark here. I'm so much in the suffering. I need to breathe. I need to heal this thing. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts so much here that I would even trade whatever outcome here to solve this thing, but I don't know the way out. And the ego wants to get this back into control because it feels like it's losing its control, and it'd be right. The ego is losing control here because the true self is awakening. The part of self that doesn't need control, because it's the truest part of self that knows that the divine is in control and things will unfold as it does. And so I don't stick to identities. I don't stick to outcomes. I don't stick to egoic stories. I don't need any sort of worldly desires that are going to scratch an itch and never make me feel whole and complete, that are based on transaction and fear. No, I've done this. We've done this many, many times, over and over and over and over again. So now consciousness is rising in the planet in order for us to heal this thing of reacting like everyone is sort of out there, and I have an internal world that's specific to me. There is no internal world specific to you. There's one state of consciousness of the divine creator. And so we got to connect back to it. And then we see that we are all one. We got to see beyond ourselves and what this person is, how they see me, or I got to prove myself. Because this, to me, I'm getting the mind story of the 9 swords, that I got to say or do something different in order to have victory here. And Spirit is saying there's nothing that you could say or do different. The only thing Spirit wants you to do is observe the falling away of the false self that's going to fall away naturally, because we don't want to suffer no more. But if we're not on this twin flame journey, then we're going to sit here in the no man's land because it's not intense. If it's not as intense here as I'm reading here, and the suffering, and I need to breathe, I need to break free from this devil and this chain, then it's not this twin flame journey. And you can comment all you like, this isn't your reading. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about, because this is I can't eat and I can't sleep, and this suffering is so heavy here. And it does go hand in hand still with the desire of your person, because without the desire of your person, there would be no need for this change. I feel so separate. I feel so alone. I feel so upside down. But now The tower has completely bombed my world. It's completely upside down. I feel like I have no control. And you'd be right. There is no control here. Although the universe isn't saying like you're doomed for devastating future. The universe is saying, see, my child, you never had control to begin with. And all of your attachments to worldly desires and worldly identities, was all of that constructed in your mind. It's what's creating your suffering. All of that stuff that you've experienced, that you identified with, that you attached to, saying, this is me, I am my experience, and I identify with that experience. And when it gets taken away or when it gets threatened, I feel all sorts of ways. And Spirit is saying, that is the devil. It doesn't exist. Let it fall, loosen your grip. And even if you feel like you're upside down, it'll be safe. On the other side is peace. On the other side is harmony. On the other side, when we've done this work, there's a reconciliation here and there's going to be an answer. The answer is your authentic self is going to come into a true centered peace. It's going to see the answer. And when it's centered and peaceful and it sees through the shadow of illusion and all the shadow work, there will be a coming together here. Okay, but right now, there's a big clusterfuck here. We need to know. We don't have answers. We're completely confused. And is the answers out there? Does this person have answers? Why is this happening? So much confusion, you know? It's like this for a reason. And we can say, well, is the universe keeping these answers away from me? It's like, no, the answers are right here, right now, in your hand. Those answers aren't removed. You're just so foggy. You can't see these answers. Okay, and so when you're healed, you'll be able to see the answers. This is all about going from the shadow into the light, healing this thing. And Spirit is assuring you with this pile, there's healing, there's a future here. We don't see it clearly right now. We haven't learned the lesson right now. Okay, and whenever we feel we're falling back in this Queen of Swords in reverse energy, let's keep falling back and knowing when I choose love, when I choose the divine creator and know that it's for the highest good of love, then I allow this to happen. But when I resist, when I say this is for the bad, or when I complain, or when I need to know that it's from the ego. The ego wants to know. The ego needs the story. The ego needs that justification. The ego needs the answer. The ego wants to know. You know, the ego wanted to know, well, this person, is they coming back? What's going to happen to me? No, that's the ego. Be uncomfortable without knowing. And the only reason we'd be uncomfortable without knowing is because we're still attached. That attachment, that cord needs to be unpinned so we could find peace and we could be okay. And then things unfold. That's the healing that needs to happen. This isn't saying it's never going to happen. Be comfortable with a nothing. This is saying be comfortable with the not knowing and the unfolding of the divine creator, because then that means you chose your heart. You chose the creator. You didn't choose the ego story, the need to know, everyone must see me. What are they seeing of you? Unless you identify with that thing. This person needs to see me. So I need to prove myself. Well, what is the self that you're trying to prove? You're not none of those things. This identity I created needs to be validated, needs to be appreciated, needs to be seen, needs to be understood. Well, what is it that needs to be seen, appreciated, and understood? You don't have an identity unless you're attached to it, unless you believe that you're that. I'm this beautiful person. I'm this giving person. I'm this. No, you're none of those things. And you're all of those things. You're the light and the dark. And when you're in this present moment with zero attachment, ready to be whatever the requirement is of the heart in that moment, that's what comes out of you. Does this present moment require me to do this or say that? Then I'm present enough to do or say that because I know my authentic response. And if there's too much ego, we can't see the authentic response. We can't see beyond ourselves. We're still the mouthpiece for the ego. We're still saying the same thing, because we've identified as that version of us. And so how could this person who is your twin flame fall in love with you or really see you? I mean, yes, they're tied to your soul energy and the depth of your essence here, but on the surface here in the 3D, we're living a different life. We're pretending to be something here, an identity that we want to be seen as, and that's not you. That's not you, because you don't have an identity. You're not whatever you want them to see in you. That's not you. Stop trying to sell them that. Your twin knows. Your twin knows I ain't going to buy this, no matter how good you dress it up, how beautiful, sexy, smart, successful. No. Your twin doesn't sees right through all that and says, ego. Whether they're saying it to you or not, their 5D is saying, ego, because twin flames know ego. Ego's a big turnoff. It's a big dirty diaper in your face. No matter how sexy, no matter what you're trying to sell this person, it's like, no. And so it's like, I give that all up. I have nothing. Humility, spirit, I let go of control. Selfless love, being able to see beyond myself will heal this thing. And then I can work on my strength and my truth and see my empowerment is in this present moment, that the truth and me not being pulled or swayed by ego, by identity, by other, by external validation, by my egoic animal instincts, desires, sexual needs, justification, validation, but I could just be in this present moment, totally whole and complete with the divine creator, ready to respond in truth and integrity. Then I've found my core center here. Then I've been healed of whatever this thing is. Okay, ego. Because I feel you really want to be seen and appreciated and loved for the ego version that you're identifying as, and spirit saying, no, you will be loved, but not as this ego person. And this person will never validate and justify and celebrate you in this energy ever, because this isn't you. So either you could stay in that energy and not be seen and feel underappreciated, undervalued, or you could come to the authentic self and actually see and understand the truth. And then you'll be seen, and then you'll be appreciated, and then you'll be loved, and then you'll be in truth, clarity, not in the fog, and not feeling rejected and left out, not feeling lonely, not feeling anything, okay, other than just understanding what it means to be completely in vulnerable, authentic energy with truth and peace and clarity. This will take time, but once you see it, let that light shine brighter and brighter. Do not resist. Do not try to control. Do not get attached to identity and outcome. Do not fall back in resentments, shame, guilt, anger, need for certainty or clarity. This will come. All we got to do is be comfortable with not knowing, and it will be shown to us. Okay? So fall back in the heart space and know it's all about you, not about this person at all. This person doesn't want egos. Okay? So pile number 2, not everyone's reading. And that's how it goes sometimes here, the reading is the reading, and that's all you get. So if you're drawn to another pile, I'll see you guys there. All right, bye-bye. Pile number 3, you guys picked the blue candle, and here's the name of it, by the way. Sin Lake, I don't know, coconut and mint. So let's take a look at your reading. I will light your candle go like I did for all 3 piles, and we're asking for protection for this connection, guidance from your spirits team. Okay, so spirits, please protect pile number 3 and their connection. Thank you so much for being here and guiding this reading, and whatever it is that pile 3 is needing to know about this soul connection, this twin flame connection. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, pile number 3. Let your energy tap into my energy here, so that we can give you a message that you're needing to hear in regards to your journey here. So like I mentioned in the intro, okay, I'm calling this a twin flame because this is the type of soul connection that I'm going to be referring to, but you could call it whatever you want, but it's very specific here to a type of connection, okay? So this won't be for everyone's reading. In fact, it's coming out quite interesting, okay? So I'm not meaning to trigger anyone. If it's triggering to you, then just take it as good, because triggering means there's something being revealed to us in our subconscious that is needing to be woken up. Okay, now of course if it doesn't resonate, then we're indifferent and we go on to another reading, another pile. Okay, so but if we're all triggered up, then that means there's something here that's being shooken up. Okay, so let's take a look at the cards and see what this message is. Like I always say, it could be your energy, it could be your twin's energy, it could be the connection. It's up to you to ascribe whose belongs to, okay, but don't take it if it's not your energy. So we have the gift with 14, Sagittarius, and Taurus energy with the 14, the gift, okay. And then we have 16 and 7. So we have some Cancer energy here, Tower. It says inner call, ego level, in depth, responsibility versus pleasures, painful emotions, focusing, gratitude, fully present relationship stability. Type 7, enthusiast, thinking center between pleasure and pain. Heart chakra. All right. And then we have self-awareness with 18 and 9. So some Virgo and some Cancer energy, some heavy moon with this solar plexus as well. Inner call, ego level, self-awareness, asserting versus staying calm, taking initiatives, express needs, determination, making choices, emotion expression. Type 9, the peacemaker, instinctive center between forgetting and asserting oneself. My hands are really cold all of a sudden. Selfless love. Oh my goodness. 104 and 5. So more of this Taurus, Sagittarius energy, some Hierophant energy here. Healthy love with the authentic self-expression. Throat chakra. So feeling the love, love of sharing, intimate love, loving deeply, embodied love, committed love. Type 5, the observer, thinking center between interior and exterior. All right. And then we have the family with the number 6. So lovers, devil. Capricorn and Gemini. So ascendants, bloodline, dynasty, parents, relatives, family, circle. Type 6, the loyalist, thinking center between mistrust and trust. Character, ego level with the gold here. I also see the gold is the high self. Okay, and then we have this Mars and Neptune. I haven't seen this one in a while. 42 could be an age or significant number here. But it's also 6, okay? So 6 is, like I said, is devil and lovers, but 6 is a master number. Service is a source of joy, in which one pours from an overflowing cup, not martyrdom. So martyrdom would be some form of selflessness, okay? But maybe it's a lesson of learning this. So Mars is the ruling planet for Aries, Scorpio, and Neptune is the ruling planet for Pisces. Okay. And then we have humbleness, 92 and 2 with the root chakra. It says clear vision of your value, modesty, realism, respect, gratitude, and right place. Type 2, the helper, emotional center between giving and receiving. I do want to read this one here because I'm being called to tap into this energy. I do like the way it feels though. So I think it's coming through quite positive, but let's see in its 3 states what this is saying. So 42, it says in conjunct sextile trine. In the primitive state, you are a shapeshifter in the worst of ways. You change your behavior depending on who you're around with the end goal of compromising and manipulating others. In the adaptive state, you use your incredible charisma to engage others in actions that are sympathetic, compassionate, and true to a feeling of oneness and each other. And in evolving state, you're a great spiritual teacher who demonstrates mind over matter and spirituality as the true center of all creative activity. Wow, that's very powerful. Definitely what I was feeling from this card. So in conjunct opposition square, in the primitive state, you use addictive behaviors to try to escape the emptiness and discomfort in your body. In adaptive, your fluid movements keep you in touch with divine inspiration. This guides your actions. Evolving, you are an exceptional conveyor of physical beauty and grace. You naturally express a higher octave of spiritual essence. It flows through your body and provides others with calming ocean of grace in which to swim. Wow, that's very, very profound here. Pile number 3. So I'm getting really lightheaded here as well. All right, let's keep going with these cards. So we have surprise pregnancy. Oh my goodness, 105. So this could definitely be a metaphor for some form of something fertile, something being created here, or it could definitely be a pregnancy. So it says finding out your or someone else is pregnant. Unexpected surprise. Wasn't planned or expected. Wow. So we have 15, which is devil. Okay, or the number 6 again. So 6, 6, 6, 3 6s. Okay, body count 259. And that's 16, or the number 7. So it says high or low number of intimate partners. Judges others' worth by sexual history. Sexist or puritanical. Okay, interesting. And then we have higher self, which I was getting from the gold here. And then we have very soon. And then we have missing you. Okay, let's put some tarot down here before I start to channel. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. What is this messaging about for the twins that I'm tapped into pile number 3. Now pile 3 is needing to know, what is this channeled message? Okay, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. Thank you so much, pile 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing this reading for you and your journey. For the twin flame journey, this soul connection, I'm tapped into pile 3. What is it pile 3 is needing to know about this energy? So we have the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. I feel these two, and this one that went flying. So we have the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. And then we have Temperance in reverse, Sagittarius energy, and the 8 of Swords in reverse. Okay. And we have the 3 of Swords, and under 3 swords, we have the Ace of Swords. All right. So the 3 plus the 1 is 4 swords, which is this healing of this temperance that I'm feeling, okay? But the Ace of Swords talks about truth. And under that, we have 7 cups. Piercing, the swords piercing through this 7 cups. Okay. Let me channel this energy, though I do feel we'll need more tarot at some point in time. So you guys can definitely skip ahead. Okay, pile number 3. I do feel this is your energy, and I feel like all 3 piles, I kind of got the viewer's energy, which is okay, because usually we're, I don't know, too focused on what's going on with our person that we lose sight of what's going on with self here. Okay, it doesn't have to be you, but I'm pretty sure it's you. In fact, I'm 99.99 pregnancy sure that it's you here, okay? What's happening here is Spirit is showing me where you're at, and it's sort of like affirming, confirming, and supporting you in this journey. It's been very difficult. If it hasn't been difficult, chances are it's not a twin flame journey, because these twin flame journeys are very, 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 very challenging. I feel like this group's been through the ringer here with this 3 swords and this 3 pentacles in reverse. For some of you guys, it is a third party. Okay, it could be a third party, but it doesn't have to be in another relationship, or that this person is just sleeping around. For some of you guys, it is, though. This person is sort of very superficial, you know, but for a lot of you guys, this person is invested in what doesn't matter. 3 cups is more important in their action, by the way, but not the truth, but in their action, more important than this connection, and has been. Other things are pulling my attention, and have been since we've started this dance. And no matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter how much potential, no matter how much healing, no matter, I'm just so fixated and stuck on my 3 cup energy, and you had no choice but to go and to do something else here. What did you have to do here? Now, some of you guys could be in contact with this person. Some of you guys are completely in no contact with this person. Some of you guys, it's a whole mixed soup here. And it could be because it was whatever your specific journey was requiring you to do in regards to yourself. So this group is highly already on this journey for quite some time, seeing the truth for some time. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Doesn't mean we're, you know, like making excuses for this person. It's like, I see this person and what they've done as what's truthful. It could still hurt me, but it doesn't weigh on how I respond or react to this person, because this person is making their own decisions and their own choices, which is right for them. But I still feel as though there is no cooperation here in this connection, that this person isn't showing up. This person has rejected me. This person has made me feel on the outs. This person isn't working with me. This person is not stepping forward. I've been on my own, and I've been working through all of my limiting thoughts. I've been connected to my higher self, even though I miss my person. Okay, if we're in no contact, for sure. But if we're even working with this person, it's like, I miss that this person's essence of who I am connected to in the 5D level. isn't representing itself here in the 3D. That version of them in the 5D that I know, because I've connected to it. I know who that pure person is. It's not this. Okay, this person who has addiction, or this person who is just like, sleeping around, or this person who can't connect because they're afraid of intimacy, or this person who isn't validating this connection in a way that's on a higher level of giving it integrity and honoring this thing. They're acting as though this is just on the side, it's a side thing, that I'm just a thing here, another option in their world. Okay, which is fine if this is what they're choosing here, but it's like I must and had no choice but to work through a lot of my own 8 swords and this feeling of lack and separation. And you've been really focused on creating something here. Okay, creating something here, whatever this something is, your baby, your business, your art, your album, your podcast, your YouTube. Some of you guys could be really focused on creating a family, whatever you're doing. I don't think it is for a lot of you guys, and some of you guys might have been driven by wanting a family with this person for sure. You could be focused on children for some of you guys. Okay, but I feel like maybe even focused on, because what I'm really getting from this pregnancy, it's like other people. So this is giving me collective that are in need of something here. It's like babies in the collective, maybe it's people who are unhealed. Maybe it's people who are learning how to sing. Maybe it's people who are learning how to go through something that you're able to offer. It's like they're a novice and you're the mama, or you're the guru, or you're the experienced one. You're providing some sort of guidance, however you're doing it. I don't know. Maybe you're selling a service. Maybe you're whatever you're doing here, Okay, so you've been focused on this thing because why? I don't feel it's a diversion or distraction. I feel in tandem with this, working on this thing, you've been releasing a lot of this separation consciousness, working through your limitations, seeing the great truth, healing your 3 swords that, by the way, have been there before this person. This 3 swords has been here before this person. This 3 swords is pain that goes back in a family lineage, abandonment, and all of the stuff here that has been buried for many lifetimes or just carried through the family line, that I am releasing, and it's very heavy. And so this connection is serving its purpose. And in the meantime, there's a connecting to the greater truth and this beautiful energy that we read in the book, if you didn't sit through the card layout, because this is really connecting to the energy I was picking up here. It's like other people look to you and your higher state of consciousness to bring clarity, okay, spiritual clarity. And you're anchoring this beautiful energy here on earth that's allowing other people to connect to themselves and their own higher self by seeing your energy and awakening themselves. And so I feel like you've had to really sit with your own heart space. You've had to really open your heart space. You had to really go in deep. You had to see the truth for what it is. There was a need to let go of anything here that wasn't allowing us to be humble, that wasn't allowing us to learn about unconditional love, that was keeping us attached to ego, keeping us attached to separation, keeping us attached to lack mindsets. Okay, so you really are a true gift here, but this connection, I think you would see as a gift. This connection is a gift because it has wakened you up. This connection is one of healing and bringing your masculine and your feminine into balance here. Heavy temperance energy. I feel like you're mastering your emotions. You're able to connect your masculine and your feminine. You're able to maintain a sense of stable presence. Okay. And I feel like your person hasn't shown up yet. And I feel like your person is working through healing. I feel like your person is coming through with this very soon, because I do feel like your person is sensing your higher vibration. And this energy is magnetizing. Of course, if this is your twin flame, this is how it works. Okay, your twin flame is being magnetized to you because you're vibrating at that of the divine energy. You're connected to your higher self. This connection to your heart consciousness, to your authentic self, working through the ego self, is a higher vibration, and it's magnetizing towards you, this person. I feel like you're able to work through the moonlight, which is your subconscious fears, navigating uncertainty with the intuition, connecting to the intuition, being able to identify what's authentic and what's ego driven, and really being in the present moment. Okay, so there was a lot of hermit work, maybe some solitude, maybe you've gone through isolation, you've identified egoic beliefs, you've been able to identify when you're in the present moment what is true to you and what is not, what is part of the higher self. Am I giving into fear or am I giving into love? I think it's very clear for you here. Okay, but like I say, this person hasn't manifested in your 3D world to create with you because they haven't cooperated or haven't been present in an equal way here to show up. Doesn't mean you're not in contact with them. Just means you've been sort of on the outs of this person's choices, you know. And I do feel, like I said, for a lot of you guys, it's this, you feel like the third party in their world because everything else seems to be a priority, or that their unhealed version is the priority, you know, which is true, because when we're unhealed, we got to focus on the thing that needs healing. So if I have an addiction, or if I'm still in distraction, or if I'm still in ego, or if I'm still superficial here, if I still can't express myself, then this is what your person is having to work before they show up. Okay, before they show up, they have to work through this thing. And I feel like you've been working through this thing, and it's been very, very, very painful. And I think there's been a lot of this moonlight energy and this 7 cups to navigate through, because it's like, I don't know where this is all going to go. And this person hasn't given me any reason to be clear. I've had to make my own certainty and clarity and truth through this lack of commitment, or this, like all of these choices. I could have stayed stuck. I could have listened to my ego. I could have listened to that fear. I could have done this. I could have pursued, I could have chased, or I could, you know, sit with my higher self and heal. All of these options I could have done. And I had to figure out which was the truth, which was the right option, which was my high self, which one was my intuition, which was authentic, despite feeling very hurt here, you know, hurt by this person, hurt by this experience, hurt by the confusion, and also this heaviness of this, like I said, abandonment wounds for a lot of you guys, okay, or like generational wounding, inner child wounding, lineage, family lineage stuff that you've had to heal, past life stuff that you've had to see through. It's like trying to navigate this maze. So I think it's validating a lot of this stuff. I think maybe for some of you guys, maybe we weren't sure, you know, where's this person at? It says very soon here. So let's take a look. Pile number 1's person, the flip person here, if we could see, or whatever pile. Did I say pile 1? I'm so sorry. Pile 3. For pile 3. What does pile 3 you need to know about their person, or the flip person here? Is there anything that wants to come forward regarding this journey? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. Now, I think you're doing what you need to do, and Spirit's saying focus on this thing. Okay, because you are really, really guiding the way here for the collective here. Okay, you're creating something absolutely beautiful here. And it's as a result of your journey. This person catalyzed you into waking up here. And so you're this beautiful gift to the collective. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. What do they need to know about their person or this journey specifically? There's something coming up very soon. What do they need to know? Okay, there's that Ace of Swords. Great. So it's continuing where we left off. Truth, clarity, certainty. Speaking your truth, walking your truth, seeing clearly. Maybe what was in the dark, what hasn't been revealed, is being shown to you. That's also a new beginning through adversity. Okay, I want to make it very clear, because I did say pile 1 when I was shuffling. I have a feeling some people who are here might think that they belong here, and they belong in pile 1. I think you'll know when you're here. Well, you'll also think you're here when you're not here. But how do I say this? You'll think you're here when you're confident you're here. And that means you're not supposed to be here, because this isn't your message. If you're here, you're not sure, you know? You're not sure because there's humbleness, there's humility. You're not sure, never sure. You never know nothing. What's going on here? But whoever is listening to this message, I feel, and thinks they're here, they actually belong in pile 1. This person's story is somebody who has really done a lot of shadow work, is able to be in present moment, isn't swayed by their emotions, isn't triggered, isn't in the dark, isn't acting out of subconscious, is really in tune with their intuition. already have some form of project that they're running with, whatever this is. Like I said, album, art, a community of people. They're a counselor of sorts. They're taking care of babies, whatever baby means here. Okay, so we have temperance. Yeah, the masculine and the feminine self that's coming into healed version, balanced emotions. Queen of Swords in reverse and the Ten of Wands in reverse. So I think what you're not seeing here is that your person is coming through a state of surrender here with the Ten of Wands in reverse. Something is becoming very clear to you. Okay, there's something in regards to the two sides here that I think you haven't been able to see yet, hasn't become clear yet, is becoming clear. But let's keep these cards going so you can see the full picture here. Ace of Swords. Why is the Ace of Swords here, Spirit? The King of Pentacles in reverse. So this person hasn't shown me that they're able to be relied upon. They haven't committed with the Seven Cups. They've kept things murky. Okay, they haven't been. And so we haven't seen this. This is the cup that's needed. They need to be able to step forward in the 3D world if they're wanting to create harmony here, if they're wanting to produce the other cup. Okay, Sagittarius energy with this Temperance. Why is Temperance here? And then we also have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So we have the King of Swords, King and Queen of Swords in reverse. And the Nine of Cups in reverse. So talk about humbleness here with this Nine of Cups in reverse. Let's keep going and see. Why is this Queen of Swords here in reverse? Ten of Pentacles, and we have the Seven of Swords in reverse. Look at that, coming out of that false self, the Seven Swords, the surrender. Okay, this is also apology. High Priestess, I don't read bottom of the deck, reverse, and the Five of Wands in reverse. Another surrender card. Okay, let me sit here with this energy. Okay, pile, this is a very clear message. Some of you guys are so intuitive, you already know. You're probably just here because you love to hear me go off. You already know, all right? But what this message is, something hasn't been shown to you yet. It's still in the ethers. But if you're in tune with your intuition already, it might as well already have happened anyway, because the 5D is very real to you. But in the 3D, we haven't seen it. This person hasn't said or done, hasn't shown, hasn't committed. There's something here that hasn't been expressed to you. It's about to be shown. Okay, why? Because this person has needed to sort through their own understanding of how they're connecting to this this union, if you will, or this connection. Your person, which is very typical, could be somebody who is so much in the mind, has to make sense, choose the mind over the heart, make logical decisions, not understand. And if I don't understand, then I don't go and believe anything here, okay, because I'm disconnected from my heart, spirituality, which isn't always going to lead me in the right direction of truth. And I think this person hasn't been following their emotions. They've been removed from allowing themselves, for whatever reason. My childhood didn't allow me to experience, give and receive love. I was stuck in addictions, doing the superficial thing, whatever made me immediately happy rather than profoundly, deeply happy, because I didn't feel worthy or deserving. And so this manifested however it did. Suppression of emotions, sleeping around, addictions, distractions, removal, I can't commit, free independent self, and now I push everyone out. Whatever it was not true. It was how they were acting in that moment, but it made them unavailable and it made them be completely distorted here. This is your counterpart here. You guys are two people who haven't been able to sync up mind to mind yet because you guys have been on two different pages here. I feel like this is coming to light. There's an understanding and a meeting of the minds here, because very soon your person misses you, by the way, and is extremely unhappy when you're not around. Or if you're around, they're extremely unhappy where they can't prioritize you, and there's a lack of feeling completely fulfilled because they need to express and take action on truth. And they haven't been doing this because they've been so focused on the 3 swords. And so they need to come out of this 7 sword energy, the lie, the deception, sneakiness, strategy, avoidance, running, hiding, not being honest with my feelings if they want to manifest. And like I said in pile 1, this gives me 10 pentacle, 10 cups because of the rainbow. So the 10 pentacle is the 3D manifestation, the happily ever after, the thing I can commit to. I can commit to the family. I could build the long term. I could commit to you and build this future. Okay, and be happy with this, because if I know that my 9 cups is truly with you, I have to be honest, especially with someone like you, because you could see right through this person's ego, fears, shenanigans, their 7 swords, their sabotage. You're a gift to this person. They are needing to heal and step forward. This person hasn't been communicating to you, hasn't been giving you clarity and certainty, and Spirit is saying this person is about to surrender because you've already surrendered. You've already put down the burden. You said, this person isn't being clear or making it clear to me, and I can't rely on this person. I'm unclear. If you were to ask me today about this person, I don't know. All I know is what they have been doing and showing me, but that doesn't mean that's who they are. It's just what they've been doing. Okay, great. But it's unclear to me where that person's going or whether this person's even going to be a part of my world. Unclear. There's no certainty. And so all I could do is surrender. And all I could do is just focus on my project or whatever. All I could do is heal myself through transmutation, come into balance, see my own distortion, work through my own shadow, connect to my intuition, and surrender and not argue with this person, not try to convince him, not try to chase him, not try to force him, not try to convince him of anything. And what this did was wake this person up. And this is in my future position. This person is coming forward. I don't care how long it's been. 13 years, 20 years, 5 years, 6 weeks, 7 days, whatever it took. Okay, because this person knows that you know a greater truth. And this person knows that this is a twin flame connection. You guys are tied. Okay, and so when you ascend, this person ascends. And what they were doing was selling themselves short. And it became very evident when your energy focused on whatever it was here, when you surrendered, when you let this person go and sit with their 7 swords and their avoidance and their sabotage and their lies and their suppression, whatever this was, whatever world they were choosing, the 3 cups in their world, at the expense of this 10 cups, 10 pentacle. And so this Groundhog's Day was keeping them stuck in little because they weren't feeling deserving of, or they weren't addressing or acknowledging the truth that they're deserving of love. They're deserving of a full happiness, emotional happiness, and they don't have to suppress, deny, or contort themselves in a way here that's putting up with whatever they thought that they needed to do, because they weren't deserving of this future. And so this person's going to come forward to you, and I feel very soon, because they do miss you, or they feel like they're missing out on having an opportunity of this depth, even if they talk to you because of their lies and their avoidance and their inability to be truthful with you about what they want. Commitment, relied upon, and consistent, and show up here. Because if they can't, someone else will, because you're saying, you haven't made it clear to me. I have no idea if you're coming or going. And I don't need to carry this burden. I don't need to carry this stress. I don't need to do anything other than focus on myself. And you know that your intuition is right about this, that there is nothing you can do or say here. And what would staying around here do? Nothing. So your intuition is completely on point here. It's like, just, I don't need to see it. I know that 5D is happening. That's all. That's good enough for me, Yeah, so you're not chasing, you're not trying to convince this person of anything at all. So let's see, it says very soon here, and I think for all of you guys, this is sort of different here, but what do we need to know about this apology or this falling away of the mask? Like, if this person, I think for some of you guys, this probably already happened or is happening right now. Like, have they already messaged you? Have you finally heard from this person in a while who's been avoiding or in no contact? Have they said something to you? Opened up emotionally to you in a different way? Have they said something to you about a future that they never mentioned before? There's something they're doing here that's putting down this mask. Okay, for some of you guys, they're outrightly apologizing. But let's see, what's this very soon about? The Knight of Swords in reverse. So if you got ghosted, if there's a no contact, if they weren't communicating or taking action on it, Spirit is saying this is what they're coming out of, 10 of Cups in reverse, because the potential is getting away from them. Although again, I don't have the timeline. Okay, but I mean, Knight of Swords is quick energy, but what I'm really getting is we've been either stuck in cycles, so we're always in contact, it's not moving anywhere. It keeps going repeat, round and round and round, not moving, or they ghosted. I haven't heard from them in a while. We're in no contact. This person senses their potential of the 10 cups, 10 pentacle getting away from them because you've surrendered. Your energy is giving off surrender energy. So right now they're at a crossroads. It's their decision whether they want to stay in the energy, then they could just miss out, or they could choose love and decide to come forward here. Okay, and Spirit's saying it's up to you. It's up to you how you want to move forward, because both of you guys, look, it's twin flames. Interesting. 2 candles. What a way to end this reading. So you, your person, 2 twin flames being pulled together. Okay. And you magnetize this person. You brought him to a higher state of consciousness by your healing. And so this person can either stay in a lower state of consciousness doing this, I don't know, whatever they're choosing here, like I said, or they can make the decision to face their fear and come forward and choose this connection, which I do feel is where they're gearing up to do, because they sense this ship slipping away. Okay, you're really pulling on this person's energy vibration if they're your true twin flame. Otherwise, this is just some random. But if you resonated with this reading truly and you're really listening to what I'm saying here, then this reading was for you. Okay, but don't get yourself twisted and confused here. I don't want you here thinking this is your energy and you belong in pile 1. All right, sorry if it reads like I'm irritated. I'm just like highly passionate about this reading. Okay, so pile number 3, this is your reading. I love you very much, and I will see you at the next one. All right, bye-bye.